What is up, my friends? Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Sessions with Rich podcast. If you're new, welcome. I drop episodes every single Sunday. Find me on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you stream on your cellular device. On today's episode, man, a good friend of the show, Marcus, stops by. He's a mindset awareness facilitator. Super excited to have this guy on. It's kind of crazy because before I give you the floor, I just think it's dope when you connect with so many amazing people, and then people find you from being on other people's podcasts. So I just think that's dope as hell. But Mark is my guy. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it. I first of all, thank you so much for having me and being having your show in open arms, right?
Appreciate it.
And opening your platform to people to reach the masses. That's super powerful, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate you being on, man. I gave you a mini red carpet, my friend. But for
And I
those who don't
appreciate
know
that.
who you are, let us know who you are and what you got going on.
So I am a mindset awareness facilitator, and just briefly when we were speaking in the backstage, you know what I'm saying? We were talking about how a lot of people get overwhelmed with life and the
Yep.
external stimuli that goes with the experience of every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that my purpose as a mindset awareness facilitator is to help people take a step back, because first things first, we are all of unlimited potential. When you're tapped in with source creation and you are connected to that, then there is no limit to who you can be and what you can do in this life. So what I do is I help people take a different angle at life, no matter where they are in life. And I help them know that with this quote, I say, you cannot solve problems from the same mindset that created the problem.
Facts.
And when we look at that, we can break down and say, okay, for every cause, for every effect, there's a cause.
Mm-hmm.
That's a universal law.
Mm-hmm.
If we done any type of studying. So when we go through it from that angle, we can see that, okay, we are really creating our reality. It's
Yep.
just not the one we want, right?
Yeah.
So once I can empower the person in front of me from that angle, it's just, and then it's like the light bulb goes off, like, I actually am doing this. I'm just
Yep.
doing it wrong.
Yep.
So then we start from that way. So okay, what are the things that we're doing every day? What are the habits that we have? What are the what is in our subconscious that keeps us seamlessly and effortlessly going in the wrong direction? So and as a mindset awareness facilitator, uh, when we get a full 360 scope of what that looks like, then we facilitate that mindset change. And that's
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I do.
Because you don't know what you don't know. So
You
if you're
don't know
operating
what
from
you
a
don't
certain
know.
programming until a new code come in, we ain't gonna be able to switch to it.
And then, yep, that new code. And then I know um we can switch on and off codes
Mm-hmm.
based off the environment.
Yep.
So
Yep.
so we know that if we want to see something different, we have to be in a different environment. And in our environments, it's not limited to like the physical surroundings, the environment that we create in our minds. You know what I'm saying?
You know that's interesting because like somebody could be in the same city but experiencing two different type of opportunities.
Oh, 100%.
Damn,
100%.
that's interesting.
And in to put that in further perspective, you, I, and somebody else can perceive the exact same event.
Mm-hmm.
But we have three different interpretations of the exact same event
And that's
without any of the
mind-boggling.
dynamic changing.
It's mind-boggling.
So the mental environment of all three people is different.
Mm.
So we can have 3 different responses to the same external stimuli.
I had an example like this yesterday. I was riding with one of my bros, pick up some tacos. Shout out to my taco eaters. I'm a taco addict.
Love tacos.
Bro, I'm a fucking sucker for some tacos. We was riding past, and I guess some high schoolers was having a homecoming, and my bro was like, when I have a kid, they not gonna be outside during a homecoming. They because he saw some ambulance, and so his first thought was violence, and my first thought was they having fun. But when you said that, it made me think of the different way we view that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's perfect example. Because the mental environment that someone has just based off of prior experience, and it's based off of the not only the prior experiences, but the lessons that you learn over time based off the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so that generates a character to that character will start to perceive things in a certain way every time. It's like an algorithm of perception, so that so it's almost predictable. That's why it's an algorithm, right? So so once you can tell somebody's character, you can pretty much predict how they'll see something a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And so when when it's coming down to facilitating a mindset change, we turn in the mirror on someone's self and say, here's how you think of this situation. If you want, and here's the gap between where you are now and where you want to be.
Yeah.
If you want to be over here, this is what needs to change within you right now, so that you can compound on those subliminal habits and start to change those subliminal habits systematically. Because like we said, it's an algorithm of subliminal responses. So once we change that algorithm, those responses become subliminal, and those subliminal responses, they'll compound on each other. And then so it's not even gonna seem like something is changing, but
right.
That's how habits are. Like we do things just out of habit,
bro. Because we used to having that coffee conversation. We so used to drink coffee because you taking a break right now, and even though it's the weekend, I'm like, I'm just used to sipping on coffee. Like,
right? Yeah. And you making me think about it right now. I'm like, dang, I
about
didn't even
that,
have
bro.
my coffee today. No, you good? I got I got a water in a coffee mug. That's
all
how I
we
do it.
need. That's all we need. You go trick ourselves. We still drinking coffee,
Yeah,
just water.
yeah. And have you noticed? Speaking of like the mental environment, have you noticed the taste of water? It kind of shifts in a coffee mug.
I've never never thought about it.
Yeah. And so what we understand about water, we know water holds memory, right? And so it's the porcelain material, and it changes the I don't know if it changes the taste or the texture of the water.
I wonder if it's that's a great because I noticed like if I'm drinking water and different things, it does taste different.
Right.
It's a different.
But then when we still keeping it on the mental awareness and the mental environment, a lot of people who think water is just water, they won't even notice. You know what I'm saying? They won't even notice. And so when we're talking about stuff like water, you know, bringing that stuff to light to people who don't, it's not really realizing, because, you know, subconsciously people just think it's water, but it's deeper than that. Anybody who study know water is deeper than that. Water, all water isn't created equal. I tell people that all the time. And you know, it's coming to light that, you know,
you can even program the water too.
100%. Yep. Program the water, put it in you know, somebody I follow say put it in a mason jar and put it in the sunlight.
I heard about that too. I think Aaron had taught me about talking to the water. So like for example, if you get in faucet water, for example, and you have like a vibration towards it being X, Y, and Z, then yeah, that's gonna be the experience. But if you literally just hold the water and just like program it to be like this water is going to be X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, it has to change. You ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
see it change physically,
Right.
but the energy, the minuscules and shit, all
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna rearrange.
100%. Yeah, that's and it's actually research studies that prove that. So she's absolutely correct on that. And so yeah, it gets so deep when we're talking about what it takes to take your life to the next level, to elevate yourself, and what the mindset that needs to have to be had, because you can't say I want $1 million tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and or next year for that matter, at any point, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can't say I want $1 million at all and not be conscious of the mindset that it takes to get there.
And even like the mindset that you have, if even if you have like lack thoughts, it's you in two
Oh,
different
you
frequencies.
right. Two way different, like almost a different spectrum of frequency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be aware of that, because you know someone who, for instance, when they get free time, they squander the time with, you know, whatever,
Just mindless shit.
right? Just anything.
Yeah.
And somebody who is a millionaire or is trekking that path to being a millionaire, they utilize any type of free time toward the progress of that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you're doing, if whatever you're doing is not moving that needle, then you have to be consciously aware to
Yeah.
take that personal inventory to know where are the energetic leaks of that goal is.
Damn, those
Because,
energetic leaks.
and
Damn.
yeah, if you have any type of energetic leaks, you're gonna be at the same spot. There will be no movement,
Mm.
little to no movement.
Guys, if you listen, well, if you listen to this, of course you listen to this, duh. While you're listening to this, dissect like a point in your life where you can like, where it's like, damn, I've been energetically leaking. Because it can be procrastination, that's energetically leaking, self-sabotaging. For example, I was self-sabotage with applying to this job, and I knew that I was procrastinating. So little stuff like that. I think of moments where you know you tweaking, but continue on, Marcus.
And shout out to my uncle. I had a deep conversation with him last week,
Shout out
actually
to
a
Unc.
week today. Yeah, shout out Unc, because he dropped some gems on me. And to um energetic leaks, he didn't say this, but it's pertaining to what we're talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
He said procrastination. He said there's two things. Here's what he said. He said there's two things that will guarantee that you're not gonna progress. He said one is procrastination and two is overthinking.
Mm.
And that's a huge energetic leak, but that a lot of people don't think about. It's overthinking. Because
That
people,
yes,
yeah,
bro.
people think that they're
But
just by overthinking that they're being thorough, but no.
you literally feel like when I used to have before my spiritual awakening, I had like these badass fucking anxiety attacks and overthink when I'm just in bed, overthinking, not at the time knowing all these different timelines that don't even
Mm-hmm.
freaking exist. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally feeling my life force drain as I'm holding on to this vibration. That makes so much fucking sense.
Yep. Yep. And so we have to understand that even in those times that there is something happening, and there is a point where we have to let go and just be.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't overthink that. And
Mm.
on the same token, like you said, procrastination, we can't procrastinate. So like that state of being is just action in the moment that's connected to purpose or goals or any type of progress,
Mm.
right?
Bars.
So like when we have to make sure that we remain in the mindset of the thing that we want to, that targeted thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That progress, elevation, awakening, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We have to know that there is a mindset that is needed that's on that frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And know that and you have to be conscious of the frequency difference
Mm-hmm.
so that you can fill that gap at any
Yeah.
given time, because it's a constant gap fill,
Mm-hmm.
because every day that you wake up, there's going to be a gap there, no matter
And
how
use
big or small.
and use that as a that opportunity to put forth those new thoughts and practices to fill in that gap and be as delusional. Even like let's take our millionaire idea. If you wake up and you're choosing to say, okay, today when I spend money, I'm going to look at it differently. I'm going to come at it from a mindset of appreciation, and this is what I'm getting out of value for it. If we can, like, similar to Marcus said, if we can just like do those little hacks in our day to day, then we can bridge that gap.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a moment thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a don't let the don't let yourself get overwhelmed about how large of a task it may be.
Mm-hmm.
It's a state of being in the moment at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also don't let a slight major breakdown ruin it. And
Mm.
that's a thing for us overthinkers, because
Facts.
I'm guilty of that too. Do not let a minor breakdown just ruin it for
Mm-hmm.
you, because I can let something that slipped, like, dang, I know I wasn't supposed to do that.
Yep.
I know that I wasn't supposed to do that, but I did it anyway. And then so there's that cycle. Overthinking push you in a cycle. And
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes the procrastinators too, they can be like, dang, so like I want it to look like this until until it looks like that.
I'm not gonna start. I'm not gonna
I'm not going,
action.
it needs to look like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
And
I
that's
was. That's how I was with this podcast. I was like, man, I need this mic. I need a laptop. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm gonna put on these headphones. I'm gonna use my phone. And we just gonna drop episodes and we'll figure it out on the way.
Yep. And that's, you got to break down to the smallest piece that you can to make it feasible, something that you can do in between the next hour and the next day. So
Mm-hmm.
I say in the next 24 hours, what have you done to put one foot in front of the other?
Mm. How are we
So
getting better today?
how are we getting better today? So doing a podcast and doing a new podcast and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what resources do I have right now that can put me on a podcast? So,
Right.
um, and this is speaking to, I'm hearing like, uh, my teacher saying, all the resources all the answers were here before we were here. All the
Mm.
solutions were here before we were born. Thousands of
Yeah.
years before we were born. All the solutions were already here. So even if I didn't have a phone, right,
Mm-hmm.
to record, so what is the smallest bit of resource that I could use for my podcast? I got, I got a mic,
Yeah.
and then I can do, the podcast just strictly audio right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or I can, I might know somebody with equipment. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
how much you would charge me to do this once a week,
Yeah.
right?
We finding the solutions.
Finding solutions. It's all about finding solutions, but in a different mindset that created the problem.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that the mindset is not the same as the mindset
Not
with the
heavy.
right.
It can be like looking at it from that childlike, like you could be like, okay, I don't have a computer, I don't have a phone to record visually, and then you get excited, okay, damn, who could I ask, or I can just use my phone, but have
Right.
fun with the solution, don't
Have
look at it as a
fun with
burden.
I spoke on this last week. The process is the destination.
Woo.
The process is the destination. So having fun with the process, having fun building up to that goal, because that's what makes life worth living. You know, it's having it. That's your goal is actually there to have something to rise to.
Because if you had it, if you whatever the hell you want to experience in life, if we didn't come here for it to manifest instantaneously, it's
Correct.
that buffer period so you can meet that person that's gonna be your best friend for 30 years. You had that experience where you went to another country because somebody randomly invited you. You wouldn't have that if you just experienced it right then and there. So that buffer period is fucking important.
That's why time is the most valuable piece. Time is only the distance between 2 points in consciousness. So, and that's just the distance between life and death is time.
That's
The difference between me and my goal is time. The distance between anything in consciousness is time. So that's where the value lies, is the distance in between that. That's why you have to find the fun in it, because you start to collapse time. You know, at time they say time time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
You start to collapse time.
Damn.
You actually collapse. You time folds in on itself when you find the thing that you want to do, the desires of your heart and stuff, and you start having fun with the process. It is actual physics that
makes sense.
you know, having your process as the destination. It's actual physics that you collapse time and you start to enjoy life a lot more. And then, you know, it wouldn't be such a task every day to live life. You know, you ever experienced a day where the day felt like it was dragging?
Yes, bro. Yes.
But then what activity have you done throughout the day that you feel like it's never enough time to do?
Shit. Bumming on the couch.
Right. Because you enjoy the relaxation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you collapse time while you're relaxing, and then next thing you know,
The weekend over.
weekend over with.
Damn.
Weekend over with. Yeah, mine is golf. And yeah, so I started to get into golf just because I needed some, like I have ADHD brain. So like 3,000 miles per second is the activity of my brain. Like it's always constantly moving. So I got into something that could help structure my brain a little bit better. And golf does that for me because you know the dynamics of the swing and keeping your eye on your ball, like it's so many moving parts that you have to be you have to have a lot of structure in your mind, or else you're not hitting the ball.
I think do you play chess?
I do play chess.
I was gonna say, bro, I feel like you would love chess. I'm
Oh
a
man.
big chess player.
And let's tie that in too. Let's tie chess in too. So as far as your mindset goes, keeping your problems, you know, 2 steps behind you. So having, because the goal of chess is being ahead of your opponent, 2 or more moves ahead of your opponent. And so that's what it is. So once you figure out the mindset change that you need, that's also a principle of changing your mindset that is very important. So is this decision that I'm making towards my goal or towards my dream or towards whatever, is how far ahead of is it gonna put me? And if I take a L, which is not a loss, it's a lesson.
Facts.
If I take this L and whatever I'm doing, am I still gonna be ahead still? Is this lesson still gonna make me ahead in some way, shape, or form? Or is this L gonna put me behind? And this is a financial principle. called risk management.
Mm.
You will see it in all types of trading and finance, personal finance teachings. But that directly translates to life, because are you using proper risk management for life?
Mm.
Is this risk that you're taking, like, can you afford to take this risk?
Right. Yeah.
Because proper risk management in life is the thing that, whether you win or not lose, but take the lesson,
Mm-hmm.
is that lesson gonna put you 3 or more steps ahead the next time you see this situation come about again?
Because
So
a lot of people do like, because I always like whatever happens like in your circumstance, I always challenge people like, yeah, it fucking sucks, but it's either a lesson, it's a loss, or something else somebody said that I couldn't that phrased it. Uh, it's either a lesson, a loss. It was another L I can't think of it right now. Um, but when
probably, yeah. I was gonna say probably a lecture, but the lecture is still a lesson.
it's still election.
Yeah.
This gonna piss me off. It's another one. But the moral of the story is when something happens, don't react, observe.
Oh,
Is this a
100%.
loss? No, because I'm not truly losing anything. What can I learn from this experience and just be the observer and not the reactor? Because this is happening because of vibration. Some timeline you put yourself in. You created
Period.
this.
Period.
So how can we pivot in a non a victim mentality mindset?
And that's 100%. That's 100%. Every encounter is either a teacher or a test proctor.
Mm.
So if you have an encounter that is purely undesirable, what can this moment teach you for the next moment?
And then when that moment does come back around, what I know what to do this go around, I can
Right.
apply it.
Yep. And that's the test proctor. Are you properly applying what you learned from the last time?
Mm.
If not, we about to sit in this classroom one more time.
We go run it back.
We about to run this classroom back, and I hope that whatever you miss, you're gonna write it down, take notes, and we're gonna schedule the test again.
This when you this mindset, this awareness, this way of thinking is such a softer, energetic frequency to understand things versus this raw, why is life happening to me? Oh, that person flipped me off, or just what this if you can apply this even in like the nastiest situations, it'll make your life 10 times up.
100%. And it helps you emotionally detach as well,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times, and this has kind of been on the forefront of my focus, is helping people understand that it's okay to feel emotion because we're
Yeah.
human, but we can't hang on to the emotion of the situation for so long,
Mm-hmm.
because your body will start to think that, since you are holding on to this emotion, your body think that this emotion is going to fix the problem. And so your body is going to try to fix the problem with the sadness and the depression that you have. And that's what sinks you deeper in it, because everything is aligning for your benefit, and then everything around you, your frequency is trying to help you out of it, not knowing that, because the frequency is not subjective to how you feeling, it's
Right.
subjective to it. So it's going to try to help you spin you up out of here, but you're spinning in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You're spinning in the wrong direction. So um with that, I try to help people understand that thinking from an objective standpoint, and the observer, as you put it perfectly, taking a step back and observing the effects will help you not only see the cause,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll help you detach from the emotion after you let it move through you. You say, okay, this sucks. All right, now we're done with that. Now on to the solutions. Where are the solutions here?
Because you don't want to sit, like, even when you piss, even like you holding on to something that don't feel good. It's just this muddy energy and it don't
Yeah.
feel good. You piss. You
Brain
have
fog.
brain fog. You having these mental
Yeah.
conversations in your head. You complaining. And you're like, rah, rah, like that don't feel good. And it's your inner being telling you, we don't agree with this that you thinking and feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Right.
This isn't truth.
Right.
This is
Isn't
an
right.
illusion.
And so that's where the observer. So when your inner being is saying that, the observer in you is supposed to connect to that.
Mm-hmm.
And when everything aligns on that front, that's when emotion is to dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
So the solutions can come forward. That's alignment. Those are the process of the growth in the moment comes. But we hold on to emotions for way too long.
Way too long. Way too
Way
long.
too long. And a lot of people who are a little bit more, because we have certain personalities that are a little bit more emotional
Yeah.
than others,
Yeah.
and they value their emotions to a point because they know that that's deeply embedded in their bodies,
Mm-hmm.
like their makeup. So but they also have to know that there is the observer that is to come forward as well,
Mm-hmm.
to be like, okay, yes, this is my feeling of, disappointment, frustration, what have you. But what are the causes of this moment that were connected to the controllables? Because
Mm-hmm.
another thing we grasp at really quick is that wasn't my fault,
Yep.
or
Yep.
that's out of my control.
Yep.
But even with the uncontrollables, there were still controllables embedded inside of the uncontrollable.
You still got to hold yourself accountable to
Yeah,
just not managing.
100%. There is no situation that is completely, you can, on autopilot. You know what I'm saying? There was no situation that was on autopilot, right?
Yeah.
So finding where the controllables were in that situation before it got out of control, because when we're driving in the car spins out of control, or you lose control of the vehicle, you steered it at some point,
Yeah. What did your frequency look like? What was you?
right?
Because it's multiple things. Your environment, the music that you entertain, and
Yeah,
I'm also thinking too, like a lot of stuff that we listen to has like a delayed effect too. Because like it's some shit you could have been mindlessly observing yesterday that's just now being experiencing in reality. I'm like, damn, this you really gotta be cognitive of every
yeah.
single thing.
And it moves into your subconscious so quickly.
Yeah.
It's because of I don't remember what teacher said it, but it's saying because your receptivity to the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
You doing like this to the music, that's
Yep.
you accepting that content into your innermost being when you doing like this to the music. You know what I'm saying?
The
You are saying
hypnosis.
yes. You're saying yes to the music. And so,
Bro, I ain't even think about that. You
yeah,
agreeing with
you are
everything.
you are agreeing to it.
Damn.
You are agreeing to it. So once we out here doing like this, well, think about what music we on, with this, and I'm
I
from
ain't
Detroit.
even think about
I'm from
that.
Detroit. So imagine all these people from Detroit or Chicago or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like this all the time, all the time,
You
you
subconsciously agreeing.
agreeing
I
to
ain't
it.
even think about this. Genius.
So you are connected to that agreement henceforth.
That spiritual contractual agreement
That
that we don't even
spiritual,
know about.
correct.
God damn.
And so now we don't even know. We just sign our name cosmically to this stuff. And then we wonder what's going on in certain situations.
If you, because I mean, I always knew about the frequency of music, but I never, because I know like the powers that be, which is ultimately us in disguise, uh, they have to avoid karma. They have to tell us in certain ways
so that we can agree to it.
that we can agree to.
Because they can karmically bypass as long as we've made the decision. Karmically, they're off the hook.
We told y'all what it was. Y'all said, because even like when the TV be like, viewer discretion is advised, they literally telling you. God damn.
Yep. That's what it is. It's everywhere.
Bro, this shit kind of like you, of course, you know, like I guess like, but yeah, like we know that I just think, I don't think it's because I have people who are big music lovers and they'll even the lyrics and the songs, and I'm like, are you listening to what they saying? And it's like, oh, they're just expressing their artistry. Like, no, they literally fucking telling you. Like, what do you? You don't make this stuff up just to make it sound catchy in a song. Like, no, you wrote this song, you some truth telling in it, and that frequency and that program in the subconscious don't even know what it's doing.
And then zoom out some with and then look at concerts on a mass scale.
Bro,
crazy
energy harvesting to the T.
Oh my God, like crazy. And that's why I watch what the concerts I attend now.
Yeah,
because as someone who's conscious, you see stuff that people don't even pay attention to or can't even see because of
it's
the
not that deep, it's not that serious.
oh my God, I hate that.
Bro, that should be pissing me off, bro. What you mean
it,
it's not that deep? Because you
right,
can't think that deep, so it ain't that deep.
right, yeah. So it's crazy, like, because when you go to like a concert and then you still have the massive agreements.
Yep.
And
Damn.
you energy harvesting on a massive scale. So imagine this happening at a at a stadium type of setting. And then right when the concert is over, you get fights. Somebody done got shot.
Over triggering the root chakra, overstimulating the crown chakra. And then even like the artist, like, don't know what entity is, inhabiting the body during that period of time. So we'll take
because it's really above them too. It's a way above them. They don't know.
They don't know. So you got that entity joyriding the body. You probably don't even know. And then all the lyrics and the person's sadness that they're singing with it, all that energy, that entity is just taking all that shit in. Like, yeah, give me more, give me more. That shit nuts.
And just not only in concerts. I'm about to trigger some people,
Hey,
but it's in churches too.
hey, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. I got an example. Sorry to cut you off, bro. I was
good.
So I've always been, and guys, if you're religious, listen to this. This isn't knocking. It is what it is. I always, growing up, before I had my spiritual awakening, church never sat right with me. I would sit there, my grandma, my family would make me go. Just didn't resonate with me. I'm just like, something don't feel right. So fast forward, haven't been to church in years. My grandmother, years ago, she asked me, can you just come to church with me this one time? I said, you know what, just for you, I don't agree with this, but just to make you feel better, I'll go. So I'm sitting there and they're on the screen, it's the I ams, and they chanting. And that chant, my spirit was just like rumbling. It was like, no, we gotta go. This programming do not feel right. So I literally got up and I was sat in the car until the service was over. Because now I was more tapped in, so I'm able to know what the frequency feels like, what doesn't feel right. I'm like, nah, hell no. Hell no. Again, not knocking anybody, but just
Right. So I'm gonna premise this, or not premise it because you didn't already spoke, but I'm going to help the people who are listening give a little bit of context of what that looks like, because if because everybody are at different stages of their awakening if they've tapped into that
yes.
at this point in their lives. But there's some literature that hits that on the head. It's called Outwitting the Devil by
Love that book,
Napoleon Hill.
bro. Fucking love
Genius,
that book.
genius. He is a genius
That might be one
because
of his best books,
oh
personally.
no, facts, no facts. I ain't gonna lie. It's okay. Think and Grow Rich, and
It's
then
yeah.
Outwitting the Devil, right,
Cause
right
like,
here.
don't get me wrong, bro. Like, Think and Grow Rich is the basic Bible,
Classic.
but Outwitting the Devil literally pulls the curtains of is going on in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and looks at it from you playing devil's advocate,
Yeah, and
and
he
it's
did it in the dialogue setting, like as he
perfect, perfect.
genius, genius, and
Because it's
so
sunk in hard. I'm like, okay, because now you give like, if you haven't read it, sorry, I'm spoiled a little bit. In the intro, when he was following the voice to make all these decisions, and the ego is like, no, that's you crazy as hell. We not doing that. But that voice kept saying, no, do that, do that, do that. And that's what makes you resonate, because it's stuff that we have the same things in our life. Don't do this, make that decision. So it's more relatable and you can grasp it.
yep, and so his interview with the devil actually says that the biggest
I gotta
the
reread this book.
yeah, facts. I'm about to take it off my shelf now. And the biggest institutions that are the devil's workshops, if you will, are schools and churches.
Come on now. Come on
Schools
now.
and churches. And that's by design.
By design.
So it's not a knock on, our religious communities,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. There's just a realm above the things that we can see, a realm in the
Mm-hmm.
unseen that is at play that certain people just missed.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
You
Like
don't know
it
what you don't know.
right. And so a lot of these folks aren't as awakened as we think they are, and we
Mm-hmm.
follow the teachings, doctrines, dogmas, whatever, and they haven't been for lack of a better term consecrated in the way in the manner that they could tap into that next level
Yeah.
of the unseen, so that they know what's at play
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
um because they weren't taught. The seminary is not going to teach energy harvesting, you
It's
know what I'm saying?
rigged. They're gonna tell you what they want you to know to stay stuck in the matrix and asleep.
Yes, so we have to be conscious of, but
Mm-hmm.
there are some that do know.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that do know, and we have to just navigate through, because the ones that do know are still since it is boxed into a certain religion and certain teaching,
Mm-hmm.
we still have to navigate through that a certain way too.
Yeah.
We have to walk smart in that too, because that's not perfect.
Yeah.
Because
True.
I tell people all the time, I say God is bigger than your idea of God, of who God is. God is bigger than any type of religious institution teaching it. God is
Yeah.
way bigger than that.
Yeah.
Way bigger than that. So in that light, to out shout out Outwitting the Devil. That's a
Great.
genius book.
If it's one book we go recommend on this episode, is Outwin the Devil. That's a fucking genius book.
Yeah. So getting people to understand the spiritual contracts that they are agreeing to with the content. And
Mm.
so pivoting from music and going to now social media,
Mm.
because there is a way. So since we're not getting that physical agreement like we do with music, there's a way that social media is getting it now through.
Mm.
So here's the breakdown of it. So the psychological effects of social media is the dopamine drip that we get from the scrolling.
Right.
And on the reverse side, if you're creating the content, it's the likes, and the views and stuff.
Facts. Facts.
So we get the dopamine drip. So now we are numb to it. we are numb to whatever we will be consuming
Right.
after that. So the numbing effect. And then we have what our subconscious kind of takes a step forward, because if we're numb, we're only going to do what the things that comes natural because we can't feel it.
Yeah.
So the content that we kind of take towards, we kind of pull towards naturally, kind of starts to come forward eventually, not right away, but eventually.
Yeah.
And then our reaction to that our energetic reaction to the content, like what are we saying in the comments, right? And because we're putting our energy into that content.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? Are we being negative in the comments?
Right.
And so
Yeah.
that's a different degree of energy harvesting, because we're going to be adding to whatever's already there.
Damn, that's true. That's
You
true, true,
know,
true, true, true.
we're adding to what's already there in the comments. So if we're being negative, we're adding to the cesspool of the negativity that's already in the comments.
Bro, I had to I'm in a, I just delete they shit when I see it. I'm like, cuz
Mhm.
my petty my inner Scorpio sometimes I like to bark back sometimes. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
too loving like sometimes I need to have fun, bark back. But
yeah.
then it was a couple comments. I had made a reel about the flat earth. And I don't know if it was bots or just random people. And they were just like, just mean as hell. I'm like, God damn, this is just a podcast. Nobody had told you to respond. You could easily scroll.
Right,
And I was like, I could respond to this and be negative. I'm just gonna block you. I'm not
right,
gonna feed into this negativity.
right.
So I agree with you.
Yeah. And so, um, and if you're trying to be love and light on the negative cesspool, and that comes with this implications too, because now you open another door for that negativity to be amplified on you and on the post as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then that's another way for you to get sucked into it. So there's
So true.
yeah,
Oh, that's so
yeah,
true.
so there are an astronomical and there's an astronomical amount of portals in the social media realm anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's multiplied from music just because of the nature of it.
Yeah.
And so we have to be conscious of what we are agreeing to when we choose to comment, what we are agreeing to
Damn.
when we're setting we set our own algorithm. When we get our timeline,
Mm-hmm.
that's the algorithm based off of what we the content that we choose to consume regularly. Because we know that we follow more people than we see regularly on
Facts.
our
Facts.
timelines.
Facts.
So that's a energetic agreement. Our
Damn.
algorithm, that's our algorithm right there. What we see is a direct reflection of
Yo.
our agreements. So
Damn.
what are you seeing up front?
Yeah.
Because that's you. What are you seeing up front?
This,
So
this shit is deep as fuck.
yeah, we have to be conscious of that. When we talk about mindset awareness, it's layered. It's multi-layered. It's like when we get to when going back to what we were saying before, breaking things down through the simplest and the
Yeah.
smallest. This is what it gets to, like something as simple as getting on Instagram and seeing like what our algorithm looks like.
Yeah.
If we scroll and see like, I don't really want to see this for real, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like, dang, this is what I've been liking and searching and
But
commenting on.
even if it's for like, because if you on a reel and it can be like for 2-3 seconds, then you get a shit ton more. And now I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about like, damn, even if like that can be broke down to even like the day-to-day shit. How
Mm-hmm.
what are you giving your attention to? This God, you finna have me analyzing everything after this
Got to.
episode.
You have to. Yeah. What are
God
you giving your
damn.
attention to? What you do frequently becomes your frequency. 19 Keys say that.
Mm.
And so what do you constantly give your attention to on a daily basis? Is what that's your actual frequency. So the algorithm is your frequency as you see it.
The algorithm is, god damn.
So you can literally see how you can see the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be.
Yeah.
Based off of scroll on social media. See if
Bro.
anything comes up that's even relative to what you want to be or what you want to be, what your gift is or what your purpose is. If you don't see anybody that's trying to do that is actually doing what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
or somebody you're trying to be, you're probably out of alignment with it.
That's so fucking true.
What your playlist look like on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever you use? You know what I'm saying? Is what is in alignment with who you're trying to be?
Yeah.
Because all them rappers and all them artists is not gonna put you there.
Hell no. Hell no.
Regardless of how good they sound, how catchy the hook is.
And that's by design. It's that hypnosis.
That's by design, because we already know the frequency of that bass is gonna catch you down there in the root chakra.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
So
So that's
why
by
you gonna
design.
route it? God
Yep.
damn.
So check the frequency of the things that you consume. And because that's going to be directly proportional to the frequency of the things you produce. So your daily production is going to be what you consciously or subconsciously consume. That's going to be your frequency.
This is some. I see why you I appreciate you, Marcus, because I appreciate how you break it down in a not even like in a sensible way. It's just
a way that you can internalize it and
yeah.
actually apply it. Is super tangible information. It's high level information that's being made tangible in your hand.
And you planting multiple little seeds, and then as you go through the journey with the podcast, those seeds start to blossom.
That's what
That's
I do.
fucking dope.
That's what I do. It's hard to put that in one phrase, because they say a lot of the professionals on personal growth and stuff like that, if you cannot explain what you do in one sentence or less, then you need to reevaluate it.
That's true.
But yeah, it's tough, but you that's kind of something necessary, because if you know somebody can put you on, you have to be able to explain what you do quickly.
Right, yeah.
You got that elevator pitch. You
Yes,
got
the
the 3 to
elevator
5.
pitch.
You got that 3 to 5 minutes, and that's it. If you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah.
You gotta wait for if you gotta wait for the next opportunity to come around, because it will.
It will.
But you know what I'm saying? It's all about capitalizing on the right now moment.
Oh, Marcus, this is some fucking bars, brother. And I'm excited for you to be back on the show for part 2, because I got a feeling it's gonna be some shit. I always ask this last question to my guests, my friend. What would your message be to humanity during this time?
I love that. I
appreciate you.
What will my message be to humanity right now? Is to breathe. Breathe your way through it, because the breath, everything goes back to the breath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even in the Bible, in Genesis, in the beginning was the word. So I think that was John, but anyway, that was the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But any beginning was the word. That word translates into ruach in Hebrew, which is the divine breath. Everything goes back to the breath. Everything in nature goes back to how everything is breathed in unison.
Mm-hmm.
The unison. Breathe, because that puts you in alignment with what the next step is. So if you're not breathing, then you're not gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
See with your eyes and see with the ears.
God damn.
You're not gonna be able to see. So my message to humanity is breathe. If you don't know how to breathe, then take this moment to learn.
Yeah.
Because that's the first step towards your elevation.
Marcus, for those who want to book a session with you, because you changing lives, my friend. You changing a lot of lives. Where can they find you?
Find me at mindset 2_ alchemist IG. That's my IG handle.
Guys, I'll make
And
sure that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Go
no,
ahead.
you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I'll make sure I have the links underneath the description for you to follow and book a session.
And also, my email is Travis I am at protonmail.com. You can email me
And
directly.
I'll have the email provided below, of course, my friends. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Marcus, I'm excited for this to drop. I'm excited to make these reels. The work that you're doing, I applaud you, bro, because the way you're able to break it down, any person in any point of their awareness, they can follow along, which I appreciate heavily. You
And
know,
we need that.
we need that
Yeah.
because it might be, and I appreciate spaces like these because it might be something that I'm spitting, and it might be in a certain vibration that maybe I'm not speaking it directly to where a person a different frequency can express it. Then here you are, you're encompassing everything, and I'm like, this is why I love what I do. So I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. Thanks again for having me. And we got to do the part two. I'm
Oh
so excited for the
yeah,
part two because like you said, this is the opening
hell yeah,
for the real stuff. I
hell
feel it
yeah.
already. I feel it already.
I'm always excited getting that first episode out because after
Yeah.
every time the friends of the show come back, I'm like, this shouldn't be some shit. So
Yeah.
I'm excited, bro. Definitely part two coming soon, guys. Of course, as always, my friends, you're the creator of your reality. Everything you think, feels safe, shapes the shit around you. Do not let your energy leak, and do not assign to spiritual contracts that you don't want to subscribe to. Now I'm gonna be this fucking. I'm gonna be analyzing everything now. Like, do I want to? Am I agreeing with this contract? Nah. So I appreciate you for that perspective.
Appreciate you.
Big
Appreciate you.
big dog. All right, guys. I see you next week.